It's time for the 1430 Connection on 1430 WNAV and 99.9 FM, spotlighting news, newsmakers, and important community issues. Now, with this week's edition of the 1430 Connection, here is WNAV news anchor Donna Cole.
Welcome to the 1430 Connection. I'm Donna Cole. In the studio with me today is Chris Wilson, Director of Advancement for our wonderful Hospice of the Chesapeake. Chris, thank you for joining me today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So you have an event coming up called
Fashion for a Cause.
And I have a feeling this has something to do with fashion.
Just a little bit, maybe.
Tell me about the event.
So it's our 9th annual Fashion for a Cause event, and it is a fun, racy show that we hold at Porsche of Annapolis.
Okay.
And this year we are featuring celebrity community models, which is new to us this year. We decided to not only have our fashion models be professional, but also to have some community models that have a connection to Hospice of the Chesapeake. So we're excited about that this year. That's new.
Well, I know one of them, and he's been a guest on this show, Aziz Abdul-Roof.
Yes, we are very excited to have Aziz. You know, he has a great connection to Hospice of the Chesapeake. He supports our children's camps every year. And also, you know, he's a University of Maryland alum and former NFL player who serves as a performance coach and inspirational speaker to youth. So we felt like he was a great tie-in to the show.
And we don't hold it against him that he played for a team other than our Baltimore Ravens.
Well, exactly. We don't.
And also Polly. Tell me about Polly.
Polly Mazzani is our certified child life specialist with Hospice of the Chesapeake. She's very involved in our child grief support groups and our bereavement camps. And she's adorable, so we thought she would just fit really nicely into the fashion show.
And the fashions are coming from where? The clothes come from where?
This year, we're excited to announce that we selected all of our fashions from Annapolis Town Center. We have South Moon Under, Scout and Molly's, Brooks Brothers, and Anthropology. So it's nice so that when people come to the show and they see looks that they like, they can actually then go purchase those looks from those stores at Annapolis Town Center, who is also one of our sponsors of the event.
And something really cool about this isn't obviously just for women. Obviously, Aziz is modeling in it. He played in the NFL. He's very much a man's man.
Absolutely.
So it's men's clothes and women's clothes.
It's men's and women's clothes, and that's one of the reasons that we also host the event at Porsche of Annapolis. So it gets a little bit for everyone. You know, the men like to come and see the racy Porsches and view those, and we also have TCP Racing, who's bringing one of their sports racing models to the event. So the men definitely like that, and then of course
I actually do too. I like the cars.
Well, the women do too, but we like to have something for everyone, and that's kind of the idea when we started the fashion show, why we then went to Porsche to try to tie it in to make it for a broader audience in the community.
And this has been a big event for you, a big fundraiser. And by the way, you do need these funds.
We absolutely do need these funds, and it has been a big event for us. We have typically raised a little over $100,000 to $125,000 on an annual basis, and all of those funds go directly to support our Chesapeake Kids program.
Chesapeake Kids program. Let's get into that for a minute. Actually, let's talk about that when we come back. I do want to hear more about Fashion for a Cause. So there's food and drink.
There is food and drink, and we are very excited to once again have Azure from the Westin Annapolis be our partner for the 6th year in a row. They have done all of our food for the event for free,
wow.
which is very significant. It's a significant piece because it allows us to take those dollars that we would normally spend and put that towards our Chesapeake Kids program.
It is absolutely a significant thing. For those that don't do party planning, the cost of a venue, B, food, those are two of the biggest things.
Absolutely. We also are excited this year to have Carpaccio Tuscan Kitchen, who is doing the food for our VIP reception, and Two Rivers Fish and Steakhouse doing all of our desserts for the evening, as well as Level, which is a Fox Brothers restaurant. They have been supporting the event also for about 6 years, and they always do a signature cocktail. This year it's the Level Gimlet. They're always very popular at the event and another great supporter of Hospice of the Chesapeake.
So great food, great drinks. It's Thursday, June 8th, 6:30 to 9:30. Cost for this is what?
$90 for tickets if you purchase them by May 26th.
Which is today.
Which is today, yes. Or $115 if you purchase them after May 26th. And we have had this event sell out in the past. We typically have about 300 people attend.
Okay, and where can people go to buy tickets?
They can visit our website at hospicechesapeake.org and click on the Fashion for a Cause invitation on the front page.
All right, perfect. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the program that's benefits. This is Donna Cole. This is the 1430 Connection. We will be right back. Welcome back to the 1430 Connection. I'm Donna Cole. In the studio with me today is Chris Wilson. She's the Director of Advancement for Hospice of the Chesapeake. Actually, for those that don't know, because there might be people out there that don't know what hospice does. Let's tell everyone what hospice does anywhere, and then Hospice of the Chesapeake, too.
So Hospice of the Chesapeake provides compassionate care for those living with advanced illness. We serve about 450 patients a day for families in our communities of Anne Arundel and Prince George's County.
I have on 2 occasions, unfortunately, had relatives that were dying that needed hospice services. It gets overwhelming. If you're in this position, you don't know what to do. You don't know where to find help. You don't know, do you stay at home? Do you stay in the hospital? Hospice comes in like truly like a guardian angel, just takes over everything and solves almost every issue that you might have, from pain to hospital beds to
Absolutely.
the whole 9 yards.
Absolutely, and we do that through what we call a care team approach to really look at every aspect of not only the patient but the family needs, with a doctor, a nurse, a social worker, a chaplain, and a certified nursing assistant, as well as volunteers that come into the home that can also help the family out and the patient out with other needs, whether it be sitting just compassionately with them, reading to them, running errands for them, or just simply giving the family a break from the daily caretaking.
And volunteers, an ongoing need with your organization?
Volunteers is a very big ongoing need. We actually have about 450 active volunteers that provide everything from patient care to administrative support. They do healing arts. We have pet therapy that they help us with. It's a huge component of the care we provide to patients and families in our community.
Okay, for those people that do listen to this show often, you know I'm very into dogs.
Yes.
Pet therapy. Tell me about pet therapy.
So pet therapy is a therapy. We have a couple of pets that do this. One is Jem, who actually stays at our inpatient care center on the Pasadena campus.
Lives there permanently?
She lives there. She comes there several days a week. Her owner brings her there several days a week. And the pets are very in tune to the patient and family needs, and they will just kind of pop in and wander into the rooms and, and just allow just kind of that safe space and just kind of calming, need to the patients and families.
So often when we think about hospice or even people that are in the final stages of life, we think of our elders.
Yes,
That's
we
not
do.
necessarily always true.
It's definitely not necessarily always true. We see more and more younger individuals need our care, as well as, of course, what this program supports, our Chesapeake Kids. We serve children ages infant through teen.
Fashion for a Cause, all monies raised will be going to?
All monies raised support the Chesapeake Kids program, which provides compassionate care for children who are living with advanced illness, as well as, again, that wraparound care for their families who need that support.
And this includes counseling and support groups for families grieving a loss. It includes memory-making activities, managing symptoms to limit hospital and doctor's visits, which is huge. When you're sick, when you're dying, even when you're healthy, the last person you want to see is a doctor or go to a hospital, right?
And especially for children. Children want to be home in their safe space, in their rooms, with their belongings. Families want them there to be able to gather and enjoy those moments with them.
All right, so we're going to take another short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of the programs that Chesapeake Kids does have. This is Donna Cole. This is the 1430 Connection. We will be right back. Welcome back to the 1430 Connection. I'm Donna Cole. In the studio with me today is Chris Wilson. She is the Director of Advancement for Hospice of the Chesapeake. Actually, the last time I was up at Hospice, up at your facility, it had just been announced that you're going to build this brand new inpatient unit. Obviously, that was more than a few years ago. And that inpatient unit is now beautiful, complete. It's on your campus.
It is. It actually opened December 30th of 2015, so it's been open for a little over a year and has been able to serve many patients and families in our community.
How many beds are in that?
There are 14 beds in that unit. And it is a state-of-the-art unit. It helps families to be able to keep their loved ones out of the hospital setting and be able to have them in a nice, comfortable, home-like setting.
With a dog that comes around every so often.
With a wonderful dog that comes around to visit everyone.
That's great. All right, so again, we are talking about the Fashion for a Cause event. It's being held June 8th from 6:30 to 9:30 at Portia of Annapolis, right down the road here. So you can, get some funds to Hospice, some much-needed funds into Hospice of the Chesapeake for their Chesapeake Kids program. And at the same time, if you so desire, you can actually probably buy a car.
Yes, you absolutely can buy a car.
Okay. Now let's talk about that Chesapeake Kids program. We were just talking about some of the programs are about managing symptoms, limiting hospital stays and doctor's visits. But you also have grief support groups, do you not?
We do have grief support groups, and probably our most well-known grief support groups are the Camp Nobby and Phoenix Rising camps. They take place each summer.
And these are for who?
These are for children ages 5 and up. So children up
that have lost
a loved one, whether it be a parent, a grandparent, just anyone important in their life.
And kids, because I have one, aren't always the best about talking about their emotions or showing their grief. So I would think something like this is incredibly helpful.
It is incredibly helpful, and they're very good about doing specialized programs to help them work through their grief. For example, last year they developed a drumming program that really helped the kids work through their grief through drumming methods. It's not always verbal because kids don't always want to verbalize their grief.
And so drumming, art, tell me some of the other.
Drumming, art, soul collage therapy where they do photos, music therapy, dance, song and dance, things of that nature is what they do, arts and crafts at the event.
Photography is...
There is some photography courses that I think they have done in the past, but that's not one of our signature.
Okay. Are these volunteers that are helping, mentoring?
Actually, the camps are primarily run by volunteers. Again, it's that important component that Hospice of the Chesapeake has, utilizing volunteers. Each kid is paired up with a big buddy who is by their side from Friday afternoon until Sunday when they leave. And then the parents are, of course, invited back in on Sunday for a closing ceremony and to really actually make that transition and connection of how they continue that grief support from leaving the camp to going home.
And where are these held?
They're held at Arlington Echo. This year's camps are August 11th through 13th, and typically we have anywhere from 50 to 80 children that come through those camps, and we've been doing them for well over 20 years here in our community.
And Arlington Echo, for those that don't know about it, is a beautiful facility on the upper Severn River. It's just gorgeous. How do people find out more information about this?
They can also visit our website at hospicechesapeake.org or our Chesapeake Life Center website as well.
Okay. And the dates again for that?
August 11th through 13th.
Which is really nice because, as many parents know, most of the summer camps start in June and end in July. There's not a lot out there for August, and sometimes the kids need to be kept busy, and especially this would be helpful for those that have lost loved ones, I would think.
Absolutely.
And so you have two different camps. One's Camp Nabby for the younger kids. Camp Phoenix is for the older kids, yes?
Correct. We separate the kids out by age group so that they can do age-appropriate activities.
All right. And volunteers for this, are they needed? Mentors for this?
We do typically need volunteers and mentors for this, and there is an application process that they would need to reach out to Hospice of the Chesapeake and go through some training to be able to obviously come to the camp and support these kids.
Okay. Then thereafter coming up would be Chesapeake Kids Bowie Base Night. It's in August. You'll have information about that on your website, too.
We will. And we hold that annually at the Bowie Bay Sox. It's a nice family event, and we invite all the kids who participated at the kids' camps, the Camp Nobby and Phoenix Rising, to come for free as part of a continued kind of a bonding moment for them to come back. They get to go down on the field, meet the players, and just have a nice family night.
That's great. The kids that need hospice help themselves,
yes,
are they part of those that stay in your inpatient unit if needed?
If needed. It really depends on the level of care that they need. Mm-hmm. We have had some children at our Rebecca Fortney Inpatient Care Center at our Pasadena campus, but ideally we like to have the children be able to be at home in their own setting.
And you had mentioned that there's volunteers with the camps over the years. Do you want to give some shout-outs to some of those?
Well, Aziz is obviously one of our big volunteers that we have.
He is, for those that don't know Aziz, again, he is a former NFL player. He's a former University of Maryland football player, and he does coaching and inspirational speaking here in the county, mostly within Anne Arundel County Public Schools. So he's been a help in the past with the camps as well.
He has been a help in the past with the kids, yes, absolutely. He participates in the camps each year.
Great. What other events are held throughout the year with Hospice that we just want to sort of keep an eye out for?
Sure. Our other fundraising events, we just had our annual gala, which takes place each March, which is a significant fundraiser for the organization. And then coming up in October, on October 5th, is our annual golf tournament. And again, that raises about $125,000 annually to support the organization.
And where is that normally held?
That is held at Queenstown Harbor Golf Course. It is always a sellout event. We have 220 golfers because it is very well known for the great food all day long and the great giveaways. This year we're actually giving away Under Armour windbreakers, which is a really nice gift.
Super. And for those that have never been over there and like wildlife, I promise you will get your share of wildlife. Last time I was there, which was this past, or I think October, bald eagles galore and deer and fox. So if you're into keeping your golfer company just to take photos, do. It's a great facility. Anything else that we need to keep in mind, other events throughout the year?
Those are our signature events that we do. We do have other events throughout the year that individuals host and provide funding for us. We're very grateful for the support of the community, and we honestly could not be able to provide the care that we do to children, their families, and everyone in the community without the support of the community.
And I think it's really cool. You're maybe the first organizations to have an event in a car dealership.
It really is a cool thing. And I have to say that when the committee, which is a volunteer-based committee, came to me and said, we want to hold this at Porsche of Annapolis in the Work Bay area, I thought, well, that's interesting because most work bays of garages are pretty dirty and greasy. But I will say that Porsche of Annapolis has one of the cleanest work bays I've ever seen, and it's very cool because we transform the space with the runway, and we turn their tool bins into the bars, and we have Porsches up on lifts as part of the decor. So it really creates a nice racy edge to the event. It's very different than a lot of the other events you see in the area.
Perfect. What have I missed?
I think we've about covered everything.
Again, for those that are interested, and even if you're not, you should be, it's the Fashion for a Cause. It benefits Hospice of the Chesapeake Kids program, which I could think of very few causes that are better than that to help our area kids either grieve or to get through their own health issues, end-of-life issues, I should say. It is being held Thursday, June 8th, 6:30 to 9:30, which is a very manageable time. Thursday's the beginning of the weekend. We're winding down 3 hours of great food and great drink and great company for a wonderful cause. More information about this is at hospicechesapeake.org. Phone number also for those that don't have access to the internet is
443-837-1531.
That's Chris Wilson, Director of Advancement for Hospice of the Chesapeake. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
This is Donna Cole on the 1430 Connection. We will see you next week.